Hey guys, MetalJesus here. Now, I know you're like me and you love modern games, but you know, sometimes they can be a little annoying. You have to deal with character creation, all the backstory, you know, the leveling up, the 60-hour campaigns, the day one patches, and sometimes you just want to jump into a simple, awesome game like you used to play back in the arcades and just have some fun. You know what I mean? You're not looking for something really complicated. You just want to get in and get out really quickly. And that's what this video is all about. So today I'm going to share with you 8 arcade hidden gems that you can play on MAME. And yeah, these are all really great. We're going to start with a game that has a great title, Escape from the Planet of the Robot Monsters. How is that for a title? As you can see here, this is an isometric shooter that has you clearing out a research facility that has been overrun by killer robots. And so what you're trying to do here is save the humans that are working in that facility, all while trying to fight off these different robots. You also unlock doors, you can look for food and ammo and a lot more. And this game is basically a throwback or love letter to all those campy 1950s sci-fi movies, but it plays almost like an old PC game. It almost reminds me of that game called Crusader No Remorse. Do you remember that? Now, I don't think that this got a console release, but it was released, I believe, on several 8-bit computers back in the day. However, for the most part, it's known for being one of those kind of forgotten gems back in the arcade. So if you're looking for something new and kind of different, definitely check it out. Next up is a game that has kind of an unusual title. It's called Rohga Armor Force. This is a run and gun mech game, and in the beginning you can actually either choose to build out your mech or you can take one of the pre-built ones for you. And what's kind of interesting about this game is that it almost plays like an on-rails shoot 'em up because you don't control any of the forward momentum. It basically is just propelling you through the level automatically. And you're basically just trying to blow up everything on the screen. Now, what's interesting is that you take damage in your limbs, and if you take enough damage and blow off enough parts of your mech, it'll actually leave you flying around on your own exposed. And so you're basically just trying to survive at that point and hopefully get enough parts to rebuild your mech to finish the level. There's also a little bit of verticality or depth built into some of these levels. For instance, right here you see this kind of concrete wall that's sort of tilted over a little bit. So while passing that, I can actually get on it and basically raises me up a bit. So it adds a little bit of strategy to the game. But yeah, this is a very cool game, has great controls, and yeah, just a ton of fun. Next up is a game that my buddy Reggie recommended for this video. It is called Blood Brothers, and it is a spiritual sequel to the game Cabal that most people played on the original NES. So not a lot of people know that there is this other game out there called Blood Brothers. In this game, you can play either as a cowboy or a Native American, and basically they've teamed up to take down the most wanted outlaw in Dodge City. And as you can see by this gameplay footage, you control your character from behind, and then you run back and forth there. You're dodging bullets and also just basically trying to shoot everything that moves. There's a lot of cool weapons to collect, also dynamite that you can pick up and then throw for more damage. And as you see by this gameplay footage, it is a very hectic game, but also super fun. In many ways, I could see where this would probably be like a light gun game, but you don't need a light gun to play this, actually. I'm just using a normal stick, and it works really well. Here's another game I'm very excited to talk about. It is called Metamorphic Force. This is a side-scrolling beat-em-up by Konami that feels very similar to titles like X-Men and also Mystic Warriors. And the fun gimmick with this game is that you can choose from 4 different characters, each with their own beast that they can transform into. And you do this by grabbing a golden statue that is dropped in the level. I like how the enemies explode into this like pink goo when you finish them off. That's pretty hilarious. And as you can tell, it's got some good graphics, some decent animation, and it's just got a good vibe to it. I really dig this game. It's a lot of fun. Definitely check it out if you like your beat 'em ups. Next up is a game that I'm a little bit confused on how to pronounce it, because if you look at the title there, it says AirGallet, but then when you fire up the game, she says
AirGallet blows your socks off.
So, AirGallet or Garrett? I don't know. Either way, prepare to be pumped up by this awesome intro. As you can see here, it is a vertical shoot 'em up that is very similar to Raiden. And like Raiden, this game takes place in a modern era, modern setting, flying over cities. You're battling other fighter jets and helicopters and things like that. You also have colored weapon upgrades that you pick up. There's power-ups all over the place. And so in some ways, it's almost too similar, I think. You know, that's kind of its one criticism. But honestly, I think it looks beautiful. It's a beautiful looking game, and it plays really well. But it is pretty tough. This is an unforgiving game, so just be aware if you're going to jump into this, but I think it's pretty cool, so definitely check it out. Next up is a game I'm very excited to talk about. It is called the Outfoxies. So this is a one-on-one fighting game where you play as an assassin in order to take out other assassins by any means necessary. And what I love about this game is that, yes, you can grab a gun or a sword and then you can just kind of knock your opponent's health all the way down till they die. But often you can also be more creative with the environment. You can really just play around in this game. And I like how the stages are large and it gives you a lot of options and variety to fight with. But then as you see here, the camera will zoom in when it needs to and give you a lot more kind of detail when you just get toe-to-toe with somebody. This game was a real surprise when I fired this up. It was really fun to play. I can definitely see this appealing to fans of, say, Super Smash Bros. For sure.
Machine gun, grenade, machine gun. 3, 1.
Next up is a Neo Geo game that is called Gan Ryu, and this is a side-scrolling platforming hack and slash game, and yeah, it's another really great hidden gem. As far as the story goes, they keep things pretty simple here. You play as one of two characters battling ninjas and monsters that are basically just trying to take over Kyoto, Japan. And right off the bat, I was reminded of other games like Shinobi or Strider. It just has that kind of feel to it. I like how you have a chain attack as well, which gives you the ability to hit enemies that are further away, but you can also use that to swing up to other platforms. It's pretty fun to do. Next up, we have an old Sega game. This is called Quartet. This is another game that really stands out as being kind of somewhat unique because it looks like a run and gun game, but also kind of feels more like a console game than just a simple arcade title. What I mean by that is that primarily it's really a 2D platforming game here, but then there's these power-ups that you can pick up that kind of change the gameplay a little bit. So for instance, you see here, I picked up the rocket pack, which lets you fly through the air. So now suddenly it feels almost like a horizontal shoot 'em up. But then there are times when you pick up the boots or the spring, and those will either speed you up or give you a higher jump, which makes platforming so much easier. But the overall goal of each level is to find out where the boss is and then defeat them and then take the key that unlocks the exit. And so because of that variety, it almost feels like it's a console title. It's a little bit deeper than what you might normally find in your typical arcade game. Now, I have to say that one of the annoying things about this game is that the enemies continue to respawn all the time, which, yeah, that really sucks. But overall, this is a really fun game. So there you go, guys. That was 8 arcade hidden gems for you to play in MAME. But as you guys know, there are hundreds, if not thousands of other hidden gems, forgotten games that, people just forgot about. So I could do another 2, 3, 4 of these videos. I've actually got a list built, but I would love to know what other games you think I should cover in the future. Please post down below. I'd love to check out what you guys think. And as always, I want to thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for subscribing, and take care.